Hello! It's that time again. Tuesday time. A view to a week 9. I'm not sure who's going to get that one. I'm not sure I entirely get it. But hey, here's our words for the week. Now listen, we have 11 words this week. You can do it. A bit of a challenge, but I guess what I'm saying here is this one goes all the way up to 11. Expecting me to make that joke again in 2 weeks. All right. The words this week we have vapid, taciturn, revelation, malevolent, irk, onslaught, indigenous, furor, diminutive, amiable, and the academic word of the week is diminish. All right, first of all, there's malevolent. It's an adjective. It's used to describe someone or something that wishes evil or harm onto someone else. It has bad intentions. Mal is a Latin root. It means bad or evil, right? I guess this is a Harry Potter reference. Miss Douglass is really into Harry Potter. I don't know who this is. I don't really care who it is. I'm guessing Harry Potter people know who it is. All right, anyway, moving on. Taciturn. It's an adjective. It describes someone who is reluctant to talk. It's usually used to describe someone who would prefer to stay silent and not speak up at all. Often during class, someone might feel taciturn, right? The teacher calls on you, like, no, I really don't want to talk. That's being taciturn. The irony is that, as soon as it's your friends, you totally want to talk. All right, revelation. It's a huge revealing of information or ideas, all right? Now, I'm not talking like, hey, I know where we should have lunch. A revelation is a huge idea. As an example of how big a revelation should be, the last book of the Bible is called Revelations, all right? It's about the end of the world, but it's a huge realization of something. Now, in the Bible, that's, kind of negative stuff, to say the least, because it's the end of the world. However, it's not a negative word nowadays. Now when we say revelation, we just mean it's a huge idea. I've had a revelation. Here's how we solve the problem. Right? Something like that. Vapid. Here's another movie reference I don't get. I think it's Mean Girls. Seems right. Vapid. Vapid is an adjective. All right? It describes someone who is lacking in life, sharpness, flavor, or excitement. They're boring. They're empty. They're dull. And they're usually kind of stupid. All right. Now, a movie can be vapid. A book, I suppose, could be vapid. It's kind of hard to have a totally empty book. People can certainly be vapid. This is a terrible thing to say to someone. This is a massive insult. So don't use it, just willy-nilly. Indigenous is an adjective. It's used to describe something. It can be a people that are native to a particular area. So the indigenous population of North America are Native Americans, right? And in different parts of the country were different tribes that were native to there. An indigenous plant is a plant that's from that area. Here in the desert, that's a really big deal, right? You need indigenous plants because otherwise they're going to really struggle here. You can't put like swamp plants out here because they're going to die in about 4 minutes. All right, an onslaught. An onslaught is a large and energetic assault or attack. I mean a huge one, right? And it's all out. You can have an onslaught during a game, during a sports game, basketball. There's an onslaught of scoring suddenly. The team puts up, 25 unanswered points. You can have an onslaught of ideas come onto you, right? And they're just attacking. It's just a relentless, huge assault. It's an onslaught. It just keeps on coming and won't stop. And now, oh my goodness, I see what's coming next. There it is. There's Mr. Bowman's yearbook photo. Okay, this was supposed to be a surprise because I love having bad yearbook photos. But Miss Douglass wanted you to see it now. And, of course, she put it next to the word irk. It's a verb. It means to irritate or annoy. So I guess the implication here is that Mr. Bowman is annoying and irritating. So if you wanted to use irk as an adjective, right, to describe someone, you'd say irksome, funny enough. So if I was irksome, that means I am annoying. If I'm trying to annoy you, I am trying to irk you. Now, that doesn't mean that necessarily something tries to do it, right? An idea can irk you. Itchy grass can irk you, right? All right. You hear irked, past tense. Have I ever heard someone use irking? I have never heard someone use irking. I'm not sure if you can. Oh, someone look it up. All right, furor. It's a noun. It's a large outburst of strong, usually negative actions and emotions. All right? It's a lot of negative hullabaloo. It's a lot of crazy action that's kind of angry and mad. Now, something that we need to actually consider quite seriously here. The word furor Sounds a lot like the word Führer. Führer being what Hitler was addressed as, all right? That is not one you want to mess up. It means like great leader in German. So it's not Führer, it's Führer. You can imagine just like F-U-R-E-R. That's how we're pronouncing this one, all right? So make sure you keep those straight. You really don't want to mispronounce that one, all right? It'd be a huge problem. All right, diminutive. It's an adjective. Means small or tiny, like a hobbit, I suppose, for instance. So little tiny thing, a diminutive little puppy, right? Diminutive, well, and it usually carries a certain amount of sweetness and cuteness to it too. So you wouldn't want to say like a diminutive, I don't know, monster. It doesn't really make a lot of sense because it's a monster. Amiable goes really well with diminutive. Amiable is an adjective meaning friendly and outgoing. It's pleasant. It's good-natured. It's lovable. It's, sweet. You like it. So these two little hobbits here are both diminutive and amiable. They're real likable and they're real tiny. Now, our AOW this week is diminish, all right? It's a verb. It's to become less important or valuable. It can also mean to actually shrink a little bit. It's usually a figurative, not a literal shrinking, but for something to diminish, it's becoming smaller and less important and less valuable, and it's kind of going away. All right? You can diminish someone's ideas, right? You just kind of knock them down as well. That's not really so good. There's other ways you could use it as well. Now, the hashtag here, who is Gary B. Snail? It's a real question, but I really don't want an answer to it. Gary B. Snail is leaving my favorite comments on every single video. Although there's another student who's leaving some pretty good ones now too, where they just put on, well, Gary puts on random facts about aquatic life. And the other one, whose name slips my mind at the moment, is just putting up random, incredibly interesting facts. I love these. They're the best comments. I look forward to them every week. Do I want to know who these people are? Not really. I kind of like not knowing. It's like the Banksy of ephemeral, silly, etc. of facts. Like I really like it. All right, the idiom of the week. It's a wild goose chase. It would be a wild goose chase for me to try and find out the nature of Gary B. Snail. So I'm not even going to do it. It's a search for something that will never be found, or it's a race to catch something that cannot be caught. All right? If you've tried to run after a goose and catch it, they are much faster than you think they're going to be. That's where this would come from, particularly a wild goose. I suppose a tame goose you could catch because, he wants to hang out with you. He's your buddy. But that's a wild goose chase. So the thief's girlfriend led cops on a wild goose chase to give him time to get away. Yeah, all right. So those are the words of the week. That's the idiom of the week. That's the academic word of the week. That's everything you need to know for next week's vocab quiz. Again, remember, there are 11 words, not 10. So make sure you study all of them. All right. Thank you very much. And until next time, don't lead people on wild goose chases, I guess is what I'm saying here. Something like that. I don't know. All right. Good luck.